Today, we're taking the next step with our Nectar for the Gods comprehensive feeding regimen. Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCGFAM show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. So, we've been working on our comprehensive feeding regimen for Nectar for the Gods. So what we're trying to do with this whole series of episodes is take all the Nectar for the Gods, take all the other stuff that you might use along with Nectar for the Gods, and figure out how all that stuff fits together, what makes sense, how you build a comprehensive regimen for someone that's growing, 4 or 6 plants and is serious about it, wants to push as hard as they can, get the absolute most quality they can out of their harvest. So far we've talked about One Shot, Gaia Mania, and Herculean Harvest as the nutrients we'd start off with. We start off with some One Shot about once a month. We'd add some Gaia Mania, and that double up over what it says in the feeding regimen because we're only using it. Do that about once a week or twice a week, even maybe a little more if you want. Then we talked about adding some bone meal in to get some big and strong out of our plants. When you do that, you got to add some Olympus up because you got to adjust for the pH, which is naturally low in this product. Now, what's next? Medusa's Magic is what's next, but here's the thing. It's a little complicated just adding this one in because these two are very similar, but different. So they kind of work together a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to Nectar for the Gods, and we're going to talk to Scott Ostrander, big kahuna out there. He's going to explain to us how to do all this and how to put these two together, how it all works, what you do. So watch this video, and I'll talk to you after. Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener with Scott Ostrander, big kahuna at Nectar for the Gods. I want to talk to you about this because we're doing the comprehensive feeding regimen. And we started off with the Gaia Mania. Well, actually with the One Shot. Just One Shot. And then we're like, okay, do One Shot once a month. Do Gaia once a week or sooner if you want. And then we added in the Herculean Harvest, which led to us adding in the Olympus up. And now you say the next one is the Medusa's Magic, but the Medusa's Magic and the Gaia Mania somewhat work together, kind of. But what the point of that is that we're going to back off on the double bubble on this and use use one shot of this, one shot of this instead of using double of this.
Yeah, because in your video you had them bumping this up to what, like 1 to 2 tablespoons?
Yeah.
So if you're into that realm where it's just this and this, you're at 1 to 2 tablespoons here, 1 to 2 tablespoons here, pH in it with that. That's a great once to twice a week feeding to supplement that One Shot.
Okay.
The only downfall of that is we're not big nitrogen believers.
Right.
We don't put a lot of nitrogen in, so a lot of people do like to add in the Medusa, and that accord the same thing like Pegasus Potion. To add a little bit more nitrogen. We like the Medusa because it is more of a broad spectrum food.
Okay.
So you're getting the nitrogen proteins from the feather meal. You are getting more of the, there is some nitrogen from bone meal as well.
Sure, okay.
But you're getting all that extra nitrogen for the growth part of the beginning stages of plant development. A lot of the same ingredients, just in different ratios as Gaia.
Okay.
So as this is giving it more of the proteins and the nitrogen and, all the enzymes and acids that we've put in through the livers and such.
Okay.
That's it. This is going to create more of a growth.
Okay.
So a lot of guys will find that with just the One Shot, the Gaia, they're trying to do, get them to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more robust, grow a little bit faster. We would then introduce Medusa for that. Okay. And in doing so, you drop this down.
So this is a more comprehensive feeding, but this is a more focused on nitrogen for growth. So this way, if you're only using one, you'd use this one. But you would you use this one just by itself, or would you generally use it in conjunction with the Gaia?
The only downfall is when you get into bloom, the bloom stage, and you want to start cutting off some of those nitrogen sources, this would be one of those you'd cut out.
I got you.
So if we had to pick an all-in-one start to finish, this is the better one. There is feather protein in here. It's just a much lighter amount than what we have in Medusa. So this one's going to give you better growth in veg. This is going to give you better flower development and flower.
Okay.
This will work all the way through,
okay.
But you're not going to grow super tall, super big plants with a 1% nitrogen.
So if I'm using both of them all the way through, would I modulate the amounts of the more one, less of the other for my flower?
In veg, you go a little more of this, a little less of that. And in bloom, a lot more of this, less of this.
Okay. So now some lines you would look at, they would probably have this, and they would say, this one for this and this one for that, use one or the other. But you feel like that using them together is a more effective.
Plants don't understand the difference between grow and bloom other than we know that we are in the vegetation, the light has changed, the season's over, and now it's time to reproduce, so we're going to put on fruit. So they still eat nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. They eat it all.
Okay.
It's just how do they get delivered, or how do they accept those nutritions at different times in the season. We're giving them that whole buffet all the time, they're sitting there. We want more of this phosphorus, we need more of this calcium, we need more of this nitrogen. They're taking it as they need to take it, and then keeping the plants healthy.
So we could go this all the way through, but we're leaning one way or the other based on the season to push a little harder.
Yeah, a lot of products, the 3 parts, you'll see 1, 2, and 3 parts.
Right.
And then 2, 1, and 3, and then 3, 2, and 1, and they take them and they just do this.
I
teeter them back and forth. Very similar. If you were just running these 4, it'd be the same thing. More of this in bloom, more of this in veg, vice versa. Flip them around.
Cool. Okay. So that pretty much covers that. What is the next thing you would add to this regimen if you're working your way up?
Yeah, tricky, but I personally would be moving in towards a humic acid source. So my next one would be Zeus for the humates. It's a catalyst to help drive all these in. It does help buffer the root zone. It chelates nutrition out of the soil and helps the availability of nutrition to go into the plant. So the next one would definitely be Zeus. And the nice thing about that one is that it's one that just kind of stays fixed all the way through.
I got you. Cool. We'll talk about that more next time, but thank you. That was awesome. Okay, that was fun. We sure appreciate Scott doing that for us. I hope you found that informative. So that was the show for today. Next time we talk about comprehensive feeding regimen, we'll talk about some Zeus juice. It's going to be a lot of fun. So tune in for that. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM313. And if you buy anything while you're there, use the code OCGFAMShow. It's going to save you 20%, and it's a lot of fun. The OCG Fam Show. It's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.